Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Nature channel. Settle in gently now. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breathing slow, quiet, and easy, like a calm winter night. Tonight, you're drifting into a world made of silence and light, a world of snowflakes. This story is about the small miracles that fall from the sky when the air grows cold, about patterns born from water and air, about stillness, patience, and the soft magic of winter. As you listen, you don't need to follow every word. Just let the images arrive, then fade, like snow settling on the ground. High above you, far beyond rooftops and trees, water vapor floats quietly in the cold air. There is no rush here, no noise, just invisible moisture waiting for the right moment to change. When the air cools enough, that vapor gently transforms into tiny ice crystals, not all at once, not dramatically, just softly, one molecule at a time. Each snowflake begins its life as something impossibly small, a microscopic hexagon of ice, so tiny you could never see it. Yet even at this size, a pattern already exists. Ice prefers order. It settles naturally into 6 sides, calm and balanced, like a quiet thought finding its shape. As the crystal drifts downward, it passes through layers of air. Some layers are colder, some slightly warmer, some are dry, others full of moisture. With every change, the snowflake grows. Tiny branches stretch outward. Then smaller branches grow from those branches, always symmetrical, always balanced. No side ever grows faster than the others. This is one of the quiet wonders of snow. Each snowflake grows in perfect harmony with itself, responding gently to the world around it. As it falls, it spins slowly, not fast, not tumbling, just turning, like a leaf drifting in still air. Millions of snowflakes are falling all around you now, and yet, no two are exactly the same. Each one has taken a slightly different path, passed through slightly different air, felt slightly different temperatures. These tiny differences shape every curve and branch. Some snowflakes grow long, delicate arms like feathers. Others form compact stars, strong and simple. Some become slender needles. Others grow into soft, intricate plates. Snowflakes remember their journey. Their shape is a quiet record of where they've been. As they descend, the world below begins to soften. Sharp edges disappear, sounds grow muted. The air feels slower, thicker, calmer. Snow absorbs sound. It wraps the world in silence. Footsteps become whispers. Cars move like distant thoughts. Even your breathing feels louder now, steady and warm against the cold air. A single snowflake finally reaches the ground. It lands without sound. No impact, no bounce, just a gentle resting. On its own, it is fragile. A touch would melt it, a breath could change it. But together, snowflakes become something stronger. Layer upon layer, they build a blanket over the earth, protecting the soil beneath from harsh cold, insulating plants, roots, and tiny creatures sleeping below. Snow is not emptiness, it is shelter. Under a layer of snow, the ground stays warmer than the air above. Life pauses, but it does not disappear. Seeds wait patiently. Insects rest. Trees slow their breath. Snow allows the world to rest. As more snow falls, light changes. Streetlights glow softly, halos expanding in the night. Moonlight reflects, making everything brighter, yet calmer. Even darkness feels gentle now. Snowflakes continue to fall, steady, unhurried. Some land on your sleeve and vanish instantly, returning to water. Others settle on cold surfaces, keeping their shape a little longer, tiny stars resting briefly before fading. Each one completes its journey quietly. No applause, no witness required, And you, standing here in this snowfall, feel something loosen inside. Thoughts slow down, muscles relax, time stretches. Snow doesn't ask you to hurry. It doesn't demand attention. It simply falls. You don't need to do anything now. Just breathe. Just listen. Let your mind drift the way snowflakes do, gently, freely, without direction. The night is calm, the air is still, and the snow keeps falling, one soft miracle at a time. The snow continues to fall, not faster, not slower, just steady, as if the sky itself has learned how to breathe. You stand very still now, and the cold no longer feels sharp. It feels clean, the kind of cold that clears the mind, leaving space behind. Each snowflake drifts through the air with no destination in mind. There is no hurry written into their fall. Gravity guides them, but gently, like a suggestion rather than a command. As they move downward, they weave slightly from side to side. Tiny air currents lift them, turn them, slow them. A snowflake can take minutes to fall, what a raindrop crosses in seconds. That slowness is important. It gives each crystal time to grow, time to become itself. Inside every snowflake, water molecules lock into place, aligning with quiet precision. 6 sides, always 6. This is not chance. It is the natural language of ice. Even when a snowflake looks chaotic or wild, its structure is calm. Order hidden inside beauty. Some snowflakes grow wide and flat, like tiny frozen lakes. Others stretch long and thin, forming needles that fall almost straight down. Some twist into shapes so intricate they seem imagined rather than real. Yet, none of them decide what to become. They simply respond to temperature, to humidity, to the invisible conditions of the sky. Snowflakes are shaped by where they are, moment by moment. Nothing more is required of them. As more snow settles, the world transforms. Edges soften, corners blur, paths disappear beneath white. Familiar places begin to look new, as if the land has been gently erased and redrawn. Snow has a way of simplifying things. Colors fade into pale blues and grays. Movement slows. The horizon feels closer. Even the sky seems lower, wrapped in thick clouds that hold the snow like a promise. The quiet deepens. Snow absorbs sound because of the air trapped between its crystals. Millions of tiny pockets holding stillness inside them. This is why snowfall feels so hushed, as if the world itself is listening. Your own thoughts begin to sound quieter too. The mind follows the environment it rests in. In the distance, trees stand patiently. Their branches catch the snow, holding it carefully, balancing white shapes along dark lines. Some branches bend under the weight, but they do not resist. They adjust. Trees understand winter. They know when to hold on and when to let go. Beneath the snow, roots remain alive. Sap still moves slowly deep inside trunks. Life retreats inward, conserving energy, waiting. Snow is not an ending, it is a pause. In open fields, snow covers everything evenly, smoothing the land into gentle waves. You can no longer tell where one step ends and another begins. The ground becomes one continuous surface. This is how snow teaches rest. By removing distinction, no sharp lines, no urgency, no need to choose a direction, just softness spreading. Somewhere above, new snowflakes are forming right now. You cannot see them yet. They are still invisible crystals, just beginning to grow. A few molecules meet. They freeze together, they align, and a new journey begins. Every snowflake that falls tonight will never fall again. Each one is unrepeatable. And yet, snow returns every year, familiar and comforting. Unique moments, repeating pattern. There is peace in that. You notice how your breath looks in the cold air, a soft cloud that appears then disappears. Warmth meeting winter, briefly visible, then gone. Breath is like snowfall too. It arrives, it leaves, no need to hold it. As snow accumulates, time feels less important. Minutes stretch. Thoughts drift without forming conclusions. The mind becomes like the landscape, open, quiet, unmarked. Snow does not care what day it is. It does not measure progress. It does not remember yesterday. It simply exists in the present moment. This is why snowfall feels timeless. Some snowflakes land on top of others, stacking gently. The spaces between them trap warmth from the ground, creating a protective layer. Under deep snow, the earth is calmer than the air above. Small animals know this. They tunnel beneath the snow, moving through hidden corridors where the temperature stays steady. Life continues, unseen, safe. Snow hides movement. It creates privacy. Above the surface, everything looks still. Below it, quiet motion continues. The same is true inside you. Even as your body rests, your heart keeps its rhythm. Your breath continues its soft cycle. Everything essential carries on without effort. Snow teaches trust. The night grows deeper now. The snowfall steadies into a gentle rhythm, like a lullaby written by the sky. You no longer need to watch each snowflake. You can let them fall without noticing. Your eyes grow heavy. Your thoughts soften at the edges. The world is covered. The noise is gone. And you are safe inside this slow, white silence. The snow will keep falling patiently, quietly. As you drift further into rest, the snowfall does not stop. It simply continues, faithful, gentle, unchanging. Somewhere between sky and ground, the air feels fuller now, as if it's holding its breath along with you. Each snowflake drifts through this stillness like a thought that never becomes a worry. You begin to notice how slowly everything moves. A snowflake can fall for nearly an hour before reaching the ground. During that time, it turns, pauses, rises slightly, then descends again. Its path is never straight. It wanders, responding to invisible currents, never resisting them. There is something deeply comforting about that. Nothing here is forced. Nothing rushes. Snowflakes do not know where they will land. They do not choose their place. And yet, every landing feels right. As the ground gathers more snow, layers begin to form. The first layer presses gently into the earth, fitting into every crack and hollow. The next layer rests on top, lighter, fluffier. Each layer holds a memory of the air that shaped it. Snow remembers the sky. Scientists can read snowfall like pages in a book. By studying layers of snow and ice, they learn about temperatures long past, about winds and storms that no longer exist. Snow is a quiet historian, recording the world without words. Tonight's snow will be remembered too, even if no one ever reads it. The flakes falling now carry the signature of this exact moment, this temperature, this humidity, this calm. No other night will create snow quite like this again. Streetlights glow warmer as snow thickens in the air. Light scatters through the falling flakes, bending softly, turning sharp beams into halos. The world looks dreamlike, as if reality itself has slowed its focus. Distances feel shorter, edges feel gentler, everything feels closer and safer. Snow reflects light back into the night, making darkness less deep. Even without the moon, the ground glows faintly, illuminated by its own quiet presence. In open spaces, snow smooths everything equally. In cities, it hides lines and cracks. In forests, It settles unevenly, catching on bark and needles, forming soft caps on every branch. Trees become sculptures. Each branch carries its own delicate balance. Too much snow and it slides off. Too little and it disappears quickly. The branches adjust without thought, bending slightly, releasing what they cannot hold. Letting go is part of surviving winter. Evergreen needles collect snow differently from bare branches. The needles create tiny shelves where snow can rest longer, while smooth branches shed it quickly. Every tree has its own way of wearing winter. No wrong way, just adaptation. You feel the cold on your skin, but it is no longer uncomfortable. The air feels clean, almost sweet. Cold air holds fewer scents, fewer distractions. Smells fade, leaving space behind. The senses quiet. Hearing softens first, then sight, then thought. Snowfall has a way of turning attention inward. With fewer external signals, the mind begins to rest, naturally, without instruction. Your breathing becomes slower, deeper. Inhale, cool air. Exhale, warmth returning to the night. Each breath leaves a brief cloud, then vanishes. A reminder that nothing needs to stay. Snowflakes that land on warm surfaces melt immediately, becoming tiny drops of water. On colder ground, they remain intact, joining the growing blanket below. Phase changes happen constantly tonight. Vapor to ice, ice to water, water back to vapor. Snow is not static. It is movement slowed enough to see. Everything is always changing. Winter just makes it quieter. Beneath the snow, sounds still exist, but they are softened. A distant door closing becomes a dull thump. Footsteps turn into muffled pulses. The world speaks in whispers now. Animals understand this silence. Birds tuck their heads into feathers, conserving warmth. Small mammals burrow deeper. Even larger animals move less, choosing stillness over effort. Energy is precious in winter. Snow supports this economy of movement. It encourages rest by making activity less appealing. The land itself suggests slowing down. You follow that suggestion without resistance. Some snowflakes fall into existing footprints, filling them gently, erasing signs of passage. Paths disappear, evidence fades. The land returns to neutral. Snow is nature's way of clearing the slate. No history visible, no mistakes remembered, just a fresh surface. This erasure is not loss. It is kindness. The mind does something similar when it rests deeply. Old thoughts fade. Tension dissolves. Mental footprints smooth over. You don't need to solve anything now. There is nothing to fix, nothing to improve. Snow does not try to be better snow. It simply falls. The sky remains heavy with clouds, holding more flakes ready to descend. Above those clouds, stars still shine, unseen but unchanged. Snow hides them, but does not remove them. Even when you cannot see light, it still exists. That knowledge brings comfort. As the night continues, the snowfall becomes part of the background, like a steady breath. You no longer notice individual flakes. Instead, you sense the presence of snow as a whole, a gentle pressure, a quiet company. Your body feels heavier now, pleasantly so. Muscles relax, joints soften. The cold outside contrasts with warmth inside, making rest feel deeper, more complete. Snow creates contrast that highlights comfort. The world outside slows so the world inside can rest. You let your eyes close for a moment. Even with eyes shut, you can imagine the snow still falling. You don't need to see it to know it's there. That's how calm works. It doesn't demand attention. It simply stays. The night is wrapped in white. The ground is protected. and you are drifting gently towards sleep, carried by the same patience that guides every snowflake to rest. The snow keeps falling, and the night holds it carefully. There is no change in its mood, no sudden wind, no urgency, just the quiet agreement between sky and ground. At some point, you stop wondering how long it has been snowing. Time loosens its grip when everything looks the same moment after moment. Snow removes the clues that time usually leaves behind. No shadows moving, no colors shifting, no sounds marking seconds, only soft accumulation. Snowflakes continue their slow descent, each one tracing a path that will never be repeated. Even when two flakes look alike, they are not the same. Their histories differ in ways too small to see. That uniqueness exists without effort. Snowflakes don't compete. They don't compare themselves. They don't rush to be first. They simply arrive when they arrive. As the snowfall deepens, the air feels thicker, padded by countless crystals drifting through it. Walking through falling snow feels like moving through a dream where resistance is gentle and forgiving. Each step presses softly into the ground. Each movement slows naturally. Snow teaches the body how to move with care. In places untouched by footsteps, the surface remains perfectly smooth, a clean, unbroken expanse that reflects the sky back upward. Clouds and ground begin to mirror each other, blurring where one ends and the other begins. Above and below start to feel connected. Snow makes the world feel smaller, more intimate. Distant things fade into white, bringing attention closer. The horizon pulls inward, encouraging you to stay where you are. There is safety in this narrowing. Far away, sounds no longer reach you. What remains is the sound of your own breath, steady and warm, a quiet rhythm that continues on its own. You notice how warmth gathers where snow rests against surfaces. On rooftops, on branches, on the ground itself. Snow is cold, yet it protects warmth by trapping air inside it. This gentle contradiction is part of winter's kindness. Cold outside, warmth preserved within. Beneath deep snow, soil does not freeze as hard. Roots remain insulated. Tiny insects survive. Seeds wait patiently. Life slows but does not stop. Snow understands waiting. It does not hurry spring. It does not resist winter. It accepts the season it belongs to. As more layers settle, older snow begins to compress. The fluffy crystals from earlier snowfall slowly transform, reshaping themselves under gentle pressure. Sharp edges soften. Points round off. Snow becomes denser, quieter, change without disturbance. Even transformation happens peacefully here. You feel something similar inside yourself. Thoughts that were once sharp lose their edges. Concerns flatten. Emotional weight spreads out, becoming easier to carry. Snow redistributes pressure. The longer the snowfall continues, the less important individual flakes become. What matters is the whole, the blanket they form together. Snow teaches that meaning can exist beyond the individual moment. Not everything has to stand out. Not everything has to be noticed. There is comfort in blending. In forests, snow settles unevenly. Some patches gather thick drifts, others remain thin. Wind shapes the surface gently, creating ripples and curves like frozen waves. Even in stillness, subtle movement leaves its signature. Snow records the lightest touch, a breath of wind, a passing animal, a falling branch. But these marks fade quickly. Snow does not hold on to them for long. Memory here is temporary. This makes the night feel forgiving. Nothing lasts long enough to become a burden. You notice the way snow reflects sound back toward its source. making the space around you feel enclosed, like being inside a softly padded room. The world outside the snowfall feels distant and irrelevant. There is only this moment, this quiet, this gentle descent. Above the clouds, temperatures are colder still. Snowflakes form differently there, growing thinner, more delicate arms. Lower down, warmer layers cause them to thicken, branching outward. Every layer of the atmosphere adds something small. Even unseen influences matter. This applies to you too. Experiences you barely noticed have shaped you in quiet ways. Gentle moments matter as much as dramatic ones, sometimes more. Snow is made of accumulated gentleness. As the night deepens, the snowfall becomes part of your inner rhythm. You're no longer watching it, you're moving with it. Your breath slows to match its pace. Inhale, exhale. Each breath is like another snowflake landing softly. You feel heavier now, but in a pleasant way, supported, held, as if the quiet itself is bearing some of your weight. Snow carries weight well. That is why branches bend but rarely break. That is why rooftops are built with slopes. The world has learned how to live with snow. And now you are learning too. There is no need to think about tomorrow. Snow does not think ahead. It focuses entirely on this moment of falling, this moment of rest. You can do the same. Let your thoughts drift without direction. Let them land wherever they choose. There is no wrong place now. The night is long, the snowfall is steady, and rest is arriving gently, layer by layer. You're safe in this quiet pause, wrapped in the same patience that guides every snowflake to the ground. The snow remains constant, as if it has decided to stay with you for the night. There is no announcement, no change in tone, just the same soft descent, steady and reassuring. At some point, you realize that the cold no longer reaches you in the same way. Your body has settled into it, found a balance. The air feels crisp but gentle, like clean linen against the skin. Snow has a way of teaching the body how to adapt. Each flake carries a tiny pocket of air within its structure. When they gather, those pockets stack together, creating layers that hold warmth instead of releasing it. What looks fragile becomes protective when joined with others. Softness becomes strength. As the snowfall deepens, the ground feels more distant beneath the growing blanket. Hard surfaces disappear, replaced by cushion and quiet. The earth seems to sigh as it is covered, finally able to rest. Snow relieves pressure. Cracks in pavement vanish. Uneven ground smooths out. Sharp transitions fade into gentle slopes. The land looks kinder, less demanding. This gentleness reaches inward. Your shoulders drop slightly. Your jaw loosens. Your breath becomes slower without effort. Snowfall invites surrender, not giving up, but letting go. Above you, clouds continue to release their quiet cargo. Snow does not fall all at once. It arrives in countless small moments, each one insignificant on its own, yet meaningful together. This is how calm is built. Not in sudden waves, but in steady accumulation. You may notice that your thoughts are no longer forming complete sentences. They drift, fragment, dissolve before reaching conclusions. This is not confusion. It is rest. The mind is doing what snow does, covering sharp edges, muting noise, simplifying. In open spaces, snow reflects the faintest light back upward. Even the sky seems brighter now, illuminated from below. Darkness softens, losing its weight. Snow does not erase light, it reshapes it. In forests, snow settles into every crevice of bark, outlining textures you never noticed before. Grooves and ridges become visible, traced in white. Snow reveals by covering. There is a lesson here. Sometimes clarity comes not from adding more, but from quiet subtraction. Branches hold snow until the balance shifts, then release it in gentle showers. A soft whisper as it falls, barely audible. The branch lifts slightly afterward, relieved. Letting go restores balance. You feel that release inside yourself too. Thoughts slip away without resistance. Feelings soften, no longer pressing for attention. Snow does not cling. It rests until it is time to move on. Beneath the snow, temperatures remain steady. This consistency allows life to wait safely. Seeds do not worry about when spring will arrive. They trust the cycle. Snow teaches trust through repetition. Winter always passes. Spring always returns. There is no need to hurry either. Your body understands this instinctively. Heartbeat steady, breath even, muscles relaxed, systems working quietly in the background without instruction. You are allowed to rest because everything essential continues without effort. The snowfall outside mirrors the slowing inside. Each flake lands with no sound, no claim. It does not announce itself. It does not ask to be remembered. And yet, without snowflakes, winter would feel empty. Small things matter, even when unnoticed. This thought settles gently, like another layer of snow. You are no longer watching the snowfall now. It has become part of the night's texture, like darkness or silence. Something present, but no longer demanding awareness. This is how sleep approaches, not suddenly, not forcefully, but by becoming familiar enough to fade into the background. Your body grows heavier, supported by the surface beneath you. Gravity feels kinder now, less insistent. The weight of the day has been redistributed, spread thin, made manageable. Snow redistributes weight too. It settles evenly, finding balance across the land. No single place holds everything. Pressure is shared. You feel held in the same way. There is nothing you need to remember tonight. Snow covers tracks so they don't need to be followed. Tomorrow can begin fresh, without reference to what came before. Snow offers this kindness freely. As the night deepens further, the snowfall may slow, or it may continue until morning. Either way, it does not concern you. Snow does not watch the clock. It does not measure progress. It exists fully suggestively now. You can do the same. Let your breathing continue its quiet rhythm. Let your thoughts drift where they wish. Let the world outside fade into white silence. The snow will keep falling, patient, gentle, endless, carrying you deeper into rest with every soft, invisible landing. The snowfall is still there when you return your attention to it, unchanged, unbothered, as steady as before. It feels as though the night has settled into a long, gentle exhale. Snow does this so well, it stretches moments, making them feel wider, softer, more forgiving. You no longer sense where 1 minute ends and the next begins. Time has loosened, like a knot slowly untangling on its own. Some snowflakes fall almost straight down now, heavy with moisture. Others drift sideways, lifted briefly by a passing breath of wind. Each one responds differently, yet all arrive at the same quiet destination. There is comfort in that shared ending. As snow continues to build, the world feels insulated, not just from cold, but from everything unnecessary. News, plans, expectations all seem far away now, as if muffled beneath layers of white. Snow simplifies life to its essentials: breath, warmth, stillness. You notice how even the idea of effort feels distant. There is nothing you need to accomplish here. Snow does not expect productivity. It values presence. That permission sinks in gently. In deeper snow, movement becomes deliberate. Each step requires awareness, not force. This is why walking in snow feels meditative. You cannot rush. The ground itself asks you to slow down. Even thinking follows this rule now. Thoughts move one at a time, or not at all. They rise briefly, then dissolve, leaving space behind. The mind begins to resemble the landscape, open, quiet, untouched. Snow creates space by covering detail. The smallest imperfections disappear first, then larger ones soften. Eventually, everything looks smooth and continuous. The land becomes one surface, uninterrupted. Inside you, something similar is happening. Small worries fade. Larger concerns lose their edges. What remains feels simple and manageable. In the distance, snowbanks grow along the edges of paths and roads, shaped slowly by wind and passing movement. These shapes are never planned. They emerge naturally, sculpted by forces too gentle to notice moment by moment. Snow sculptures itself. This quiet shaping happens in your body too. Muscles settle into more comfortable positions. The nervous system eases its grip. Without instruction, everything aligns toward rest. You may feel a pleasant heaviness now, as if your body is sinking slightly into where you are. This is not fatigue. It is grounding. Snow grounds the world by adding weight without pressure. That weight feels supportive, reassuring, like a blanket tucked just right. As the night continues, the temperature drops slightly. Snowflakes change again, growing smaller, drier, more powdery. They fall faster now, catching less air as they descend. Even change remains gentle here. Snow adapts continuously, never clinging to one form for too long. It teaches flexibility without effort. You don't need to hold on to how you felt earlier today, or yesterday, or even a few moments ago. Like snowflakes, feelings can arrive, change shape, and move on. Nothing needs to be fixed tonight. Somewhere beneath the snow, water slowly freezes in layers, releasing tiny amounts of heat as it does. This subtle warmth helps stabilize temperatures below. Even freezing has its kindness. Nature rarely does anything abruptly. Snow accumulates patiently, allowing everything beneath it to adjust slowly. There are no shocks here, no sudden demands. This patience spreads into you. Your breathing is slow and deep now, almost automatic. Inhale through the nose, cool and quiet. Exhale through the mouth, warm and soft. Each breath feels complete on its own. Snowflakes land on snowflakes, merging into something larger, losing individual identity while becoming part of something comforting and whole. There is no loss in this, only belonging. You feel less separate now from the quiet around you. The boundary between inside and outside feels thinner, not in a fragile way, in a peaceful one. Snow dissolves boundaries by softening them. The night feels protective, like it is watching over everything without judgment. Nothing is required of you. There is nowhere you need to go. The world can wait. Snow waits without anxiety. It trusts the rhythm of seasons. It knows that change will come when it is time. Your body knows this too. Sleep is not something you must chase. It arrives naturally when conditions are right, when the mind is quiet, when the body feels safe, when effort fades. Those conditions are here now. The snowfall outside continues its endless, gentle work. Inside, your thoughts slow to a near standstill. Awareness softens, becoming diffuse and dreamy. You may begin to feel as if you are drifting, not falling, not floating, just gently moving without direction, like a snowflake. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to resist, nothing to decide. Only this calm descent into rest. The snow will keep falling whether you notice it or not. It will continue shaping the night, covering the world in patience and quiet. And as it does, you are carried with it deeper, slower, softer into sleep. The snow feels endless now, but not in a heavy way. Endless like a calm thought that doesn't need to finish. Somewhere in the distance, the world has almost completely disappeared. Buildings, roads, familiar outlines, all softened into gentle shapes, barely distinct from the air around them. Snow blurs certainty, and in doing so, it creates peace. There is nothing sharp left to focus on. Snowflakes keep forming far above you, long before they begin to fall. Up there, in the cold layers of the sky, tiny ice crystals quietly assemble themselves. No sound, no signal, just alignment. Water molecules slow down as the temperature drops. They settle into place, locking together, choosing structure over motion. 6 directions, always 6, a quiet agreement written into the nature of ice. Every snowflake carries that agreement as it falls. And still, no two arrive the same. Some pass quickly through the air, barely pausing. Others wander, caught in invisible spirals, as if unsure whether they are ready to land. There is no correct speed here, only the speed that feels right. Snow never compares itself. As the layers deepen, the ground becomes more forgiving. Where there was once hardness, now there is give. Snow absorbs impact, softening every step, every movement. The world becomes gentler to move through. Even standing still feels different now. The air presses softly against you, padded by countless falling crystals. It feels like being inside a quiet, snowfall-shaped room where every surface is designed for rest. Snow creates spaces meant for stillness. Your body responds without instruction. Muscles loosen, breathing slows. The small adjustments you didn't know you were holding onto begin to release. The mind does the same. Thoughts no longer line up in sequences. They arrive as impressions instead. A feeling of white, a sense of quiet, a memory of cold air on skin. Then they fade. Snow encourages thinking without effort. In the silence, subtle sounds emerge. The faint whisper of flakes brushing against each other. The soft sigh of snow sliding from a branch. These sounds are not meant to be noticed. They exist only to fill the silence gently, without disturbing it. Silence here is not empty. It is full of softness. As the night moves deeper, the snow on the ground begins to change. Lower layers compress slightly under their own weight, becoming denser, quieter. Upper layers remain light and airy, ready to shift with the slightest breeze. Snow holds many states at once, just like you. Some parts of you are already resting deeply. Other parts are still drifting, gently adjusting, finding the most comfortable position to settle. There is no rush to complete this process. Snow never hurries its transformation. In colder air, snowflakes grow simpler shapes, fewer branches, cleaner lines, as if the sky itself prefers minimalism in the deepest cold. Beauty does not disappear, it becomes more subtle. This quiet simplicity spreads inward. You may notice now that even emotions feel distant, softened, not gone, just quieted. Snow doesn't remove feeling, it wraps it gently, making it easier to carry. The world feels paused. Somewhere beyond the snowfall, life continues as usual. But here, in this space of falling snow, that doesn't matter. This place exists outside urgency. Snow creates pockets of timelessness. That is why nights like this feel longer, why memories of snowfall linger more clearly than ordinary days. The mind marks these moments as safe, slow, and complete. You feel safe now. The snow outside acts like a guardian, covering everything, keeping the night calm. Nothing loud enters, nothing sharp intrudes. Your breathing remains steady and slow, barely noticeable. Each inhale feels cooler, each exhale warmer, a gentle exchange that requires no attention. This rhythm continues on its own. Snow and breath share this quality. Both arrive and leave without effort. As flakes land on the ground, they interlock loosely, creating tiny bridges between one another. Air becomes trapped inside, forming a structure that is light yet stable. Snow is fragile alone, resilient together. There is comfort in that truth. You don't have to carry everything yourself. Support exists quietly, beneath you, around you, like snow beneath the surface. The night deepens further. Snowfall may grow slightly lighter now, or perhaps it remains steady. Either way, it feels consistent enough to trust. Consistency is calming. The mind relaxes when it senses predictability. Snow provides that, a steady, gentle pattern with no surprises, flake after flake, breath after breath. The ground is now fully covered. Whatever was there before is hidden, resting, protected. Snow doesn't erase, it preserves. The same happens inside you. Old thoughts rest beneath the surface. You don't need to visit them now. They will still be there when the snow melts. Changed perhaps, softened by time. For now, rest is enough. Your awareness begins to drift more freely, less anchored to words or images. Sensations blur. The sense of where your body ends and the space around you begins grows faint. Snow dissolves edges. The quiet becomes almost complete now. Not silence exactly, but a soft hum of stillness that feels comforting rather than empty. This is the space where sleep waits. You don't need to step into it. You don't need to choose it. It arrives naturally, like snow reaching the ground. Let your thoughts fade. Let your breathing continue. Let the snowfall carry you. The night is wrapped in white. The world is resting. And you are drifting gently, safely, into deeper sleep. The snowfall has become almost invisible now, not because it stopped, but because you no longer need to watch it. It exists whether you notice it or not, and that is enough. The night feels very deep here. Not dark, not heavy, just wide and slow, like a lake with no ripples. Snow has finished changing the shape of the world for now. What remains is stillness. You are wrapped inside it. Snowflakes still drift down from the clouds, but farther apart, quieter, as if the sky itself is growing drowsy. Each flake lands softly, adding nothing urgent, nothing demanding, just a gentle continuation. At this point, snow is no longer something happening outside. It feels like a condition, a calm state the world has entered. Like rest itself has taken physical form. Your body mirrors this perfectly. There is no tension left to release, no adjustment waiting to be made. Everything that needed to soften already has. The breath moves slowly, deeply, without thought. The heart keeps its steady rhythm. Warmth gathers naturally where it is needed. Snow insulates without effort. So does sleep. Beneath the snow, the ground has reached a quiet equilibrium. Temperatures stabilize. Movement slows to the smallest, most essential actions. Life settles into its winter rhythm. Nothing wastes energy now. This efficiency feels peaceful rather than restrictive. It is not about doing less. It is about doing only what matters. Your mind understands this instinctively. Thoughts no longer arrive as words. They appear as soft impressions, then fade before forming meaning. Images blur into sensations. Sensations blur into nothing at all. Awareness becomes light and spacious. Snow teaches this state by example. It does not argue with gravity. It does not resist melting or freezing. It moves through its phases calmly, accepting each one fully. You are allowed to do the same. There is no need to stay alert, no need to keep watch. The night is stable. The world is quiet. Snowfall has always been a signal for rest, for animals, for plants, for the land itself. When snow arrives, activity recedes naturally, without instruction. Sleep follows the same rule. It is not something you perform, it is something you allow. You may notice now that even the idea of listening feels distant. Words no longer pull at your attention. They drift past like flakes you don't need to follow. This is the threshold. Snow does not announce when it finishes falling. There is no clear moment when descent becomes stillness. It simply blends into the ground, becoming part of what already exists. Sleep arrives the same way. One moment, you are aware of the quiet. The next, you are inside it. Nothing changes abruptly. Nothing breaks the calm. The world remains covered, protected, patient. Snow will still be there in the morning. It will hold the night's silence long after you've rested. It will keep the ground safe, the air clean, the edges soft. And you will rest now too. No effort, no thought. No need to follow anything further, just a gentle settling, like a snowflake finding its place at last. The quiet stays with you. It does not move away when awareness fades. It simply holds its place, steady and patient. Snow is still there outside, not falling fast, not stopping, just existing in a soft balance between sky and ground. The kind of balance that does not need attention to remain. Everything has found its position now. The world feels suspended, as if wrapped in a deep pause. Snow has finished its work of softening edges, lowering sounds, dimming effort. What remains is a gentle stillness that asks nothing of you. Your body rests fully within it. There is a warmth beneath the calm, like a steady ember protected by layers of white. Snow allows warmth to stay. It shelters it quietly, without drawing focus. Breathing continues in its own slow rhythm, in and out. Even that rhythm begins to feel distant. Snow does not disappear when you stop looking at it. Rest does not disappear when you stop thinking about it. Both remain. Above the clouds, the sky is unchanged. Stars continue their silent paths. The moon keeps its quiet watch. Snow does not interrupt the larger rhythms of the world. It simply adds softness to them. You're part of those rhythms now. Nothing needs to be remembered. Nothing needs to be prepared. The night is complete as it is. Snow has always been a signal of safety in its own way. When it falls, the land quiets. Movement slows. The world chooses preservation over effort. Sleep does the same for you. It gathers what matters. It protects what is essential. It lets everything else rest. There is no border between being awake and asleep here. Just a gentle blending, like snow merging into snow, flake by flake, until individual shapes no longer matter. Only comfort remains. The silence feels thick now, but not heavy. It is full, like a soft blanket laid carefully over everything, the kind that does not press down. It holds you instead. Snow holds the night this way. You are held too. Nothing more is coming. Nothing more is required. The quiet has settled completely. Let it stay. Let yourself drift where there are no thoughts, no images, no words. Only calm, steady rest, as deep and gentle as snow resting on the sleeping earth. The night continues, the snow remains, and you're already asleep. The snow has settled into its deepest calm. Nothing announces this moment. There is no signal, no shift in sound, just a sense that everything has finally agreed to rest. Above the ground, the air feels almost motionless now. Snowflakes still descend, but so sparsely they seem more like thoughts passing through a sleeping mind than physical objects. They drift, hesitate, and land without sound. The world is wrapped. Snow has completed its gentle task, smoothing, softening, protecting. What remains is a silence that feels alive, not empty. A silence with depth, like water beneath ice. You are inside that depth now. Under the snow, the earth is warmer than the air above. The frozen surface hides a layer of quiet comfort where temperatures barely change. Roots rest there. Seeds wait there. Small creatures breathe slowly there. Snow creates this hidden shelter without effort. Each layer adds another breath of insulation, another pause, another moment where nothing must happen. You can feel that same insulation around your thoughts. They no longer reach outward. They no longer ask questions. They rest, loosely held, like objects set down carefully. Snow never presses down harshly. It distributes its weight evenly, finding balance without force. This is why the ground does not crack beneath it. This is why branches bend instead of breaking. Snow understands balance. Your body has found that balance too. Muscles are no longer holding tension just in case. The nervous system has stepped back, confident that nothing urgent is coming. Breath flows without guidance. Heartbeat keeps its gentle pace. Warmth settles exactly where it is needed. Snow does not choose favorites. It covers everything equally. The night outside has grown very still. Even distant movement has paused. Roads lie empty. Paths are hidden. The land looks as though it has never been touched. Snow has erased the need to remember. Footprints vanish. Marks disappear. The past smooths itself out. Inside you, the same quiet erasure takes place. The day no longer matters. Neither does yesterday or tomorrow. Time exists only as a soft background hum, barely noticeable. Snow lives only in the present moment of resting. The air feels thicker now, as if filled with softness. Even sound seems cushioned, unable to travel far. The quiet wraps around itself, deepening rather than spreading. This is the quiet where sleep becomes deep, not drifting sleep, not light rest, but the kind of sleep where awareness loosens completely. Snow does not mind if you forget it exists. Sleep does not mind either. Above the clouds, weather systems continue to move. Winds shift far away. The planet turns as it always does. But none of that reaches this place. Snow creates pockets of stillness inside motion. This place is one of them. You are safe here. There is no cold where you are now. Only a memory of it, distant and gentle. Snow has taken the sharpness away. What remains is clarity, like clean air inside the mind. Nothing crowds you. Nothing presses in. Everything has space. Snowflakes that fall now land on snow that has already settled. They do not bounce. They simply merge, becoming part of what already exists. Individual shapes dissolve into quiet unity. There is peace in that merging. You no longer feel separate from the stillness around you. The boundary between your body and the quiet space fades softly, like edges blurred by snowfall. Snow dissolves separation. The night continues its slow passage, but you are not moving with it anymore. You are resting beneath it, like the land itself, trusting the hours to pass on their own. Snow trusts time completely. It does not hurry melting. It does not resist falling. It allows each phase to arrive when it arrives. Your body follows that wisdom now. Sleep deepens not because you try, but because nothing interrupts it. No sharp sounds, no urgent thoughts, no unfinished edges. Everything unfinished can wait beneath the snow. If a thought rises now, it is faint, almost transparent. It drifts briefly, then settles, absorbed into the quiet below. Snow absorbs everything gently. The world feels very far away, not lost, just distant enough to stop mattering. This distance is comforting. It gives you permission to let go completely. Nothing will be missed. Snow remains through the night, holding the land steady. Even as temperatures shift slightly, even as clouds thin or thicken, the snow stays patient and unchanged. That patience surrounds you too. You're not expected to wake, not expected to listen, not expected to remember, only to rest. The quiet has depth now, layers of it, like snow itself. Surface stillness, deeper calm. And beneath that, a profound silence where thought cannot reach. This is where sleep truly lives. Snow does not speak here. Words do not follow. Only rest continues. You are fully held by the night, by the stillness, by the gentle presence of snow resting on the sleeping earth. And nothing will disturb you now. Snow remains, even deeper now, not deeper in height, but in feeling. It feels as if time itself has been padded, softened, wrapped in layers that prevent it from moving too quickly. Minutes no longer pass in a line. They settle gently, one over another, until they lose their edges. The night is very still. Snow has always had this effect on time. When it falls, clocks seem less important. Schedules loosen. The world agrees without discussion to slow down. You are inside that agreement now. Above the resting ground, the air barely stirs. The last few snowflakes drift lazily, as if unsure whether they are needed anymore. They fall anyway, not because something is unfinished, but because falling is simply what they do. There is no urgency in their movement. Snow never asks what comes next. It trusts that whatever follows will arrive on its own. Beneath the snow, the earth has settled into a stable quiet. Temperature changes are slow here, gradual enough to feel like stillness. Life rests in this steady zone, protected from extremes. Roots remain calm. Soil breathes softly. Nothing rushes. Your body mirrors this perfectly. There is a deep steadiness inside you now, the kind that does not need to be checked or adjusted. Muscles remain loose. Breath moves gently. Awareness drifts without anchoring itself to thought. Snow teaches this depth of rest by removing contrast. There is no sharp cold here, no sharp warmth, only balance. Snow distributes everything evenly: weight, sound, temperature. This is why it feels so comforting. Nothing overwhelms, nothing demands. Even silence feels balanced. If a sound appears now, a distant settling of snow, a faint shift in the night, it dissolves almost immediately, unable to travel far. Snow absorbs it, holds it, then lets it fade. The mind does the same. Any thought that rises now has no momentum. It appears softly, then settles back down before forming meaning. There is no need to follow it. Snow does not follow tracks, it covers them. The sense of self becomes lighter here, not gone, not lost, just less defined. Like a shape under snow, still present, but softened beyond sharp recognition. This is not emptiness, it is spaciousness. Snow creates space by filling it. The paradox feels natural now. The night outside continues its slow rotation, but you are no longer moving with it. You are resting beneath it, like the land beneath winter sky. Stars may still shine above the clouds, The moon may still move quietly along its path, but none of that requires your awareness. Snow allows you to forget the sky. You are grounded now, not by weight, but by calm. Even memory feels distant, not erased, just quieted. Snow has a way of lowering the volume of everything it touches. Past and future become background, no longer asking for attention. Only the present remains, wide and still. In this space, there is no effort involved in being. You're not doing rest correctly or incorrectly. You're simply resting. Snow never wonders if it is falling the right way. It falls, or it rests. Both are enough. The deeper layers of snow press gently into the ground, reshaping themselves over time. Sharp crystals slowly round off. Air pockets adjust. The structure becomes quieter, denser, more stable. Change continues even in rest, but slowly, kindly. Inside you, something similar unfolds. Subtle adjustments take place without awareness. Systems recalibrate. The body restores itself quietly, without asking for permission. Sleep is working now, not lightly, not on the surface, but deeply, beneath thought, beneath sensation. Snow supports this kind of work by creating a world where nothing interrupts it. The environment agrees with rest. Even the idea of listening begins to fade. Words soften, stretching out, losing clarity. Meaning dissolves into tone, then into silence. This is natural. Snow dissolves edges everywhere it touches. You may feel as if you're sinking, not downward, but inward, like settling into a warm pocket inside stillness. There is no direction here, only depth. Depth without darkness, stillness without emptiness. Snow holds time in this state. It does not stop it, but it slows it enough for rest to become complete. Nothing is missing. Nothing is waiting. Nothing needs to happen. The night is doing exactly what it should. Snow remains on the ground, patient and unchanged. It will stay until warmth returns, and even then it will melt slowly, releasing itself gently back into water. Snow never leaves abruptly, neither does rest. You are far beyond effort now, far beyond thought. Awareness has softened into something like gentle presence, barely there, floating without shape. This is where sleep deepens most. No dreams yet, no images, just quiet being. Snow and sleep share this place, where nothing needs to be named and nothing asked to be remembered. The night continues, held steady by snow, and you continue resting, held just as gently. Nothing will disturb this stillness. The pause has length now, not a length you can measure, not something marked by minutes or hours, but a long, continuous stillness that stretches gently in every direction. Snow has created this pause by doing nothing more than remaining. It does not move away. It does not demand attention. It simply stays. The night rests inside it. Snow has always known how to pause the world without stopping it. Beneath the white surface, everything continues. Slowly, quietly, safely. Above it, the air remains calm, held in a soft balance. You are resting in that same balance. There is no clear sense of where you are now. The feeling of location has faded, not lost, just unnecessary. Snow removes the need to orient yourself. When everything looks the same, direction no longer matters. This is comforting. Your body feels distant in the best possible way. Still present, still warm, still breathing, but no longer asking for attention. Sensations blur together into one soft awareness. Like snow blending into snow, the mind has followed suit. Thoughts no longer arrive as ideas. They arrive as faint movements, then dissolve before forming shape. There is no story happening here, Snow does not tell stories. It holds silence. In the long white pause, silence becomes textured, not empty, not hollow, but layered, a surface quiet, a deeper calm. And beneath that, a profound stillness where even the idea of sound disappears. This is the quiet beneath snowfall. Snowflakes may still be drifting down far above, but they feel irrelevant now. Whether they fall or not changes nothing. The pause remains intact. Snow has finished creating it. Beneath the surface, deeper layers continue their slow transformation. Crystals settle closer together. Air pockets shift. Everything moves toward stability without urgency. This slow settling feels familiar inside you. Sleep has reached its deeper rhythms now. Not drifting sleep, not light rest, but the kind where the body works quietly on its own. Repair, restore, rebalance, all without awareness. Snow supports this by removing disturbance. No sudden changes, no sharp contrasts. Everything remains steady enough for a deep rest to continue uninterrupted. The world feels very far away now, not gone, just placed at a distance where it cannot intrude. Snow has a way of creating that distance naturally. It places a soft boundary around everything it touches. Inside that boundary, nothing presses in. Even time feels contained. Hours pass, but they do not announce themselves. There is no sense of progression, only continuation. Snow does not mark time, it holds it. The pause stretches on, smooth and uninterrupted. Awareness fades further, thinning like mist. What remains is not thought, not sensation, just a gentle state of being. No effort required, no response needed. This is the space where sleep becomes deepest. Here, the mind does not wander, it rests. The body does not shift, it settles. Everything aligns towards stillness as naturally as snow aligning itself with the ground. Snow never wonders when to stop resting. It rests until warmth returns. You're allowed the same. There is no pressure to wake, no need to surface. This pause belongs to you completely. Nothing will interrupt it. The night continues its slow turning far away, but it cannot reach you here. Snow has created a pocket of calm that holds steady no matter what moves beyond it. This is the long white pause, a place without edges, without urgency, without need, just rest, layered softly, one moment over another until moments themselves no longer matter. You remain here, deeply held, as snow holds the sleeping earth, quietly, patiently, completely. And the pause continues. There is a deeper quiet now, not a new one, but the same quiet settling further into itself. Snow has a way of doing this. It doesn't add silence. It reveals what was already there. Beneath the white surface, the world feels held in a steady hush, like a breath paused comfortably, without strain. Nothing feels suspended anymore. Everything has landed. You have landed too. The pause from before has softened into something even calmer, a quiet beneath quiet. Awareness has thinned to a gentle presence, like warmth lingering after a touch. Snow rests without awareness. You rest with it. The night continues, but it feels distant, almost symbolic. Somewhere, hours pass. Somewhere, clouds shift. Somewhere, the sky slowly changes its angle to the sun. None of that reaches here. Snow creates separation without isolation. It keeps disturbance out while letting calm remain. Your body is deeply still now, not stiff, not heavy, simply settled. Muscles no longer adjust. Breath moves so softly it barely registers, even the idea of posture fades. The body knows how to rest when given the chance. Snow gives that chance freely. Under the snowpack, the ground has found a steady temperature, not warm, not cold, balanced. This balance allows life to remain safe and unchanged for long stretches of time. Stability is the gift of snow. Inside you, the same stability has formed. Emotional movement has slowed to almost nothing. Thoughts no longer rise. Even the sense of you feels diffused, spread gently across the stillness. This is not absence. It is peace. Snow does not erase the world. It quiets it enough for rest to deepen. The silence here feels full, like soft fabric layered over sound. If something were to move far away, it would not matter. The quiet would remain. Snow teaches the nervous system that nothing sudden is coming, and so it lets go completely. There is no anticipation left, no waiting, no sense of before or after, only now, wide, calm, unchanging. The mind has stepped aside. What remains is a gentle state of being, like floating without direction in warm water. No effort, no thought, no need to decide anything at all. Snow holds the earth in this way through the longest nights of winter, patient, unmoving, protective. It does not worry about how long it will last. It does not rush toward melting. It simply stays. You stay too. The world outside this quiet could shift dramatically, and it would not reach you. Snow has created a deep enough layer of calm that nothing sharp can pass through. This is why sleep feels safest here. There is no vigilance required, no awareness needed, nothing to guard against. Your body rests as if it has been doing this forever. The night breathes slowly around you, but you do not follow its rhythm anymore. Your rhythm is deeper now, slower, almost still. Snow supports this stillness by being still itself. Even gravity feels softened. Weight is no longer something you notice. You feel neither heavy nor light, just comfortably present. The quiet beneath the snow has no edges, no beginning, no end, no shape. It is simply there. If a dream were to form, it would drift gently on the surface of this stillness, barely touching it. But for now, even dreams wait. Snow holds space for dreamless rest. This is the deepest part of the night, the part that heals quietly, the part that restores without sensation. Nothing asks for attention here. Nothing pulls you upward. You're resting exactly where you should be, beneath the snow, beneath thought, beneath time. The quiet does not change. It does not fade. It does not deepen further. It simply remains, steady and complete, and you remain with it, resting without effort, as snow rests on the sleeping earth. The night has reached its quietest point, not because it is about to end, but because everything has finally settled into complete agreement. Snow rests where it fell. The air holds steady. The world feels balanced, as if nothing could tip it out of this calm. This is the stillness before morning. It does not announce itself. It does not glow. It simply exists, wide, deep, unbroken. Snow lies across the land like a promise kept. Every surface is covered evenly now, without gaps or sharp contrasts. Even places that once felt busy or restless have softened into calm shapes. The world looks as though it is sleeping properly at last. You are sleeping properly too. There is no awareness of your body anymore, not in any distinct way. Sensation has blurred into warmth and weightlessness. Breathing continues, but it feels far away, like something happening in another room. The body has taken over completely. Snow supports this kind of rest by removing change. Nothing new happens here. Nothing unexpected arrives. The environment remains so steady that the mind no longer needs to monitor anything. Vigilance fades entirely. This is the kind of stillness that allows deep repair. Muscles release their last hidden tensions. The nervous system settles into its slowest rhythm. The mind drifts beneath thought, beneath language. Snow has guided everything here gently. Under the snowpack, the ground is quiet and protected. Moisture is locked safely away. Temperature barely shifts. Life waits patiently, untroubled by the long night. Waiting feels peaceful here. There is no impatience in winter soil, no urgency in sleeping seeds, no anxiety in resting roots. Snow teaches patience by example. Inside you, patience has replaced effort. There is no desire to wake, no desire to dream, no desire to move. Just a deep acceptance of rest as the only thing that matters. Time feels suspended again, but differently than before. Earlier, time softened. Now, it almost disappears. There is no sense of how long you have been here or how long you will remain. Snow does not count hours. Sleep does not either. The sky above the clouds begins its slow preparation for dawn, but the light is still far away. Even when it comes, it will arrive gently, filtered through snow-bright air. There will be no harsh awakening here. Snow ensures that transitions are slow. When morning eventually arrives, it will find a world already calm. The snow will reflect light softly, easing the return of color and sound. The night will not be forced away. It will dissolve naturally. For now, though, the night remains whole. The stillness before morning is different from the stillness of midnight. It is fuller, more settled. Nothing is in motion anymore. Even distant systems feel paused. This is the deepest quiet the night can offer. Your awareness rests completely within it. There are no images now, no words, no thoughts forming at all. Only a gentle sense of being held. Snow holds the land this way until the very last moment of night, guarding its rest, keeping it undisturbed. Even animals remain tucked away, even winds remain still. Everything agrees to stay quiet a little longer. You remain too. There is no anticipation of waking, no edge of awareness pulling upward. Sleep is smooth and uninterrupted, like a perfectly even blanket laid across the mind. Snow makes sleep feel seamless. If dreams come later, they will rise gently from this stillness, shaped by calm rather than noise. But for now, dreamless rest continues, deep, restorative, complete. The world is safe. The night is stable. Nothing requires your attention. Snow remains unchanged, patient, and quiet until warmth returns in its own time. And you remain resting, just as patiently, just as quietly. The stillness before morning stretches on, unbroken, and you rest within it, completely at ease, held by snow, by night, by calm itself. Something very subtle begins to shift. Not in sound, not in movement, only in feeling. The snow remains exactly where it is, smooth and undisturbed. The world is still asleep. And yet, far beyond awareness, light is preparing to return. Snow does not wake suddenly, neither do you. Before morning truly arrives, there is a long, quiet moment where the night loosens just a little. The darkness becomes less dense, as if it has taken a slow, careful breath. Snow reflects this change gently. Its surface begins to hold a faint suggestion of brightness, not visible yet, but present. The way closed eyes sense light before they open. The way the body knows morning is coming without needing to check the sky. This is the hour snow loves most. Nothing has begun and nothing has ended. The land beneath the snow remains perfectly calm. Temperatures stay steady. Life below the surface continues to rest, protected by the soft weight above. Snow does not rush the return of activity. It allows rest to finish naturally. You are still deeply asleep now, but your rest has shifted slightly. Not lighter, just complete. The work of the night has been done. Muscles have released. The nervous system has settled fully. The mind has cleared what it needed to clear. Sleep has done its quiet work. Snow understands completion. It never clings to the night. It never resists the day. It remains present for both. The air above the snow feels different now, clearer, lighter, almost expectant. But there is no sound yet. Birds remain silent. Winds remain paused. The world holds still out of respect for this moment. Snow breathes light without moving. Your body begins its own gentle transition. Though you do not notice it, breathing remains slow, heartbeat steady, awareness still far away. But somewhere beneath the surface, systems align toward wakefulness, not waking, preparing. This preparation is slow and kind. Snow ensures that nothing changes abruptly. Light will arrive filtered through white. Sound will return softened. Movement will come gradually without shock. Snow is a buffer between states. The sky continues to brighten behind the clouds. Color has not returned yet, only a pale easing of darkness. Snow responds by glowing faintly, as if remembering the sun from another season. This glow does not disturb the quiet. It deepens it. The world feels whole in this moment. Night and morning overlap briefly, neither dominating the other. Snow holds them together, smoothing the transition. Inside you, rest remains complete. There is no desire to wake yet, no pull upward, just a subtle readiness, like a door unlocked but not opened. Snow unlocks the world gently. Beneath the surface, tiny movements begin, not footsteps, not sounds, but internal shifts. The earth prepares to receive light again. Seeds remain asleep, but their waiting is calm, untroubled. Snow teaches patience even at the edge of change. You remain in deep, steady sleep. Dreams may begin to form now, but if they do, they are soft and spacious. No sharp images, no urgency, just gentle impressions drifting across stillness, like light passing through clouds. Snow continues to hold everything steady. Even as brightness increases, it keeps the world quiet. Morning does not rush in here. It arrives respectfully. The night slowly releases its grip, not all at once, but layer by layer, just as snow once arrived. Nothing is lost in this release. Snow remains. Calm remains. Rest remains. Your body will wake when it is ready, not before. Snow would never demand otherwise. For now, you stay exactly where you are, between night and day, between sleep and waking, wrapped in the final gift of winter's calm. The snow breathes light into the world, and you continue resting safely, gently, completely.